Hello everybody. It's that time again. Start off this week's stream. Let me let people know that the stream is live. I meant to post on I need to get better at posting on Discord because like I post on Twitter, I even post on Facebook, even though I get no interaction with the Facebook posts. Let's let Twitter people know. Okay. I'm looking at the chat. I want to look at chat before I message Silva. Still no sign of Silva. I know the last couple times when I went to message Silva to ask him if he was coming to stream, he'd been in chat. He's a lot of times he's in chat as I'm messaging him. Just ding him a message. He might be working or dealing with Final Fantasy 14 stuff. It could be any number of things. Okay. All right. So, for those of you who were here last week, I updated my OBS right before stream started last week, and it completely changed my layout. And I've heard some people praising this. Actually, let me go to just chatting. And I had a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I saw videos where there was at least one person who was praising the new layout and saying that it looks like a modern program, as opposed to looking like something that was outdated and old. And I don't know how to feel about that, because like OBS has looked like OBS for so long. Having that drastic change in layout made it look more like Streamlabs, and that just didn't feel. That didn't feel like OBS. It didn't feel like the same program. And also, everything was so much bigger and bulkier. I couldn't maneuver things around on my screen, and I couldn't see my screen all the way. But today, when I was fiddling around with it, I figured out how to set my layout back to the old my old dark mode layout. And when I did that, I was able to resize things, because I don't know why the layout changes your ability to resize things, but it does. Or maybe I just couldn't resize them because I was streaming last time. I don't know. But I was able to resize things, so now I can have all of my menus and informational things on board, and still be able to see the screen, see what I'm streaming, see the full screen. So that's good. So there was a refund I'd been waiting on for a while that just hit, that like it took about a week, I feels like, to finally get back to me. And it's like, it's so bizarre because like if you buy something, they take the money out almost instantly, like right then and there, right? But then if they give you a refund, then they get to take their time with sending you the money. And it's this completely just imbalanced power structure that just really struck me when I was thinking about it today. Yeah. Also, fun fact, when I was fiddling around, I figured out how to check for updates with my with my VTuber software. But I didn't want to do that 5 minutes before stream because I didn't want stream to be late again. I value having a routine, and it means a lot to me that this has become part of my routine. And yeah, that's like, it bugged me last time when I had to wait those extra few minutes for OBS to update. And then after the update, things were just not good. Now things are back where I need them to be. So tomorrow I have a meeting with somebody important to me about like my life stuff, and gotta be, I think, making some phone calls or something. And so that's a thing. But what about you, chat? What are you all doing this week? What are you working on this week that's gonna be keeping you busy? Also, the remaining parts for my computer should be arriving this week sometime. So my friend should be able to start assembling the computer and then getting ready. Then it's just a matter of getting ready to ship the computer to me. I have so many indie titles, so many games I've got off of the Epic Games Store, and things that I can get that like I want to play. But I don't want to risk cooking my laptop when it's my only computer source right now. That I'll be able to play once I get my desktop. And it's interesting because I've been going through this process of looking at parts and looking at things. I figured out why the CPU I was getting was so expensive. And I might upgrade my CPU coming up soon, because with the Ryzen 7000 series coming out, I'm hoping that the 5000 series price is going to drop. And I kind of value that extra performance from the Ryzen 5. The Ryzen 5600. over the 3600, which is what I have, which is what I'm getting. So that's a whole thing I'm doing. And that's, there's always this fear, this anxiety that I'm doing something wrong, that I didn't get something right, or that I misunderstood something. I had one of those today where I thought that I'd ordered the wrong type of RAM, and I was freaking out. And when I did some research on it, I found out that one, I did order the right type of RAM, but two, my CPU is so old that it might not be able to properly utilize the powerful RAM that I'd ordered. Oh. Silva just got back to me. So Silva won't be as active because Silva's I think I have a sneaking suspicion that Silva might be addicted to Final Fantasy XIV because every time I talk to him, if he's not doing anything else, he's playing Final Fantasy XIV. And sometimes I worry about him. Full disclosure. I don't even play the game. How could I be addicted, Silva? How could I be addicted, Silva? I'm probably going to pick it up once I have a functioning gaming PC. I'm probably going to pick it up at some point, but I don't know if I'm going to get as into it as you are. So, spoiler alert, Silva's the one who's building the computer for me. I didn't want to out them as the one doing that. But Silva is stating that he's going to pre-install Final Fantasy XIV on my computer. It's just gonna come pre-installed. Yep, yeah, you do. You do have more experience with building PCs. So some stuff I'm gonna have to learn to do on my own. I'm probably gonna be getting my own tool set next month for maintaining and updating my computer. So I'm gonna order like an iFixit or something tool set with all the right size screws and the different tools for like prying open my laptop and stuff, which is something I should have gotten forever ago. So I'm probably gonna pick up one of those. And like, I'm getting a Ryzen 3600 CPU, but if I get, after my BIOS gets updated on my motherboard, I might splurge and get the 5600 for 20% better performance. And apparently a better cooler. I might splurge for that. I don't know. I gotta see, because I have to make sure I have money in case of emergencies. And I was really thinking about it today. Like, I was debating going out to eat, and I realized that the only reason I was able to afford this gaming PC, the only reason I was able to afford these things was because I don't go out to eat. And if I go out to eat, I have to decide where my values are. If I'm spending money on eating out and all that other stuff, I'm not going to have money for gaming. So I have to ask myself what I value more, and also not going to have emergency money for emergency situations. So I ate the soup that I had at home instead of going out to eat. Which, when you live on a fixed income, that's a very important discussion to have with yourself. and I'm finally getting to like for a while I was able to really excuse eating out because it was food. So my survival minded brain was able to still justify spending money on food because it was food. Which now I'm hungry because I didn't really eat much supper. So this will we'll see how this stream goes. I ate, but I didn't eat as much as I would have liked to. I'll put it that way. And also there's portion control. That's another thing. Like, I also know that when I get stressed, I sometimes tend to eat more, but other times I eat less, which is really bizarre. But, bruh, so sometimes because of my depression and anxiety, I get hit with waves of exhaustion. And I got hit with one of those today. I was in the middle of hanging out with people, and it just hit me like a truck out of nowhere. And I haven't had it hit me that bad in a while. And I hope I didn't snore, but I know I definitely just shut down and passed out. Thankfully, I was in a sitting position, and I make sure to spend most of my time in a position where if I spontaneously pass out because of exhaustion, it's not an unusual or uncomfortable position. I'm not quite bedridden, but I'm definitely not able-bodied.
I thought you might be home. I wasn't sure.
Which, that's a thing. Also, I'm thinking next month spending some money on some Yu-Gi-Oh cards to update my Yu-Gi-Oh deck, because I'm kind of feeling more in that mindset of wanting to improve my deck. That's fair, Nekomaji. That's definitely a fair assessment. How are you doing, Nekomaji? Your bed is a recliner, which is also your computer chair. That's a lot of dedication to your craft there, Nekomaji. So, do you have, it's the start of the week, so you sleep like one, Nekomaji? That's fun. So, it's the start of the week, so I gotta ask the question I asked at the start of the week multiple other times in the past, and I want to make a habit of asking, what plans do you all have for the week? What goals do you want to achieve? What things do you want to get done with this week, with this coming week? Could be work, could be professional, could be personal goals. What's at least one thing that you want to either happen or make happen or see through? You know what I mean. Silva, I want you to know that because of the cursing there, besides, nobody else saw that in their chat besides people who see it on the screen. The automatic moderator flagged it. maybe work on your stories. Nekomashi, have you had a chance to take a look at any of the resources I shared in the Discord? Because I've been trying to share resources for other writers and people who are working on stuff. It's all right. I realize not everybody is a Discord person. But yeah, I posted some things there. I just posted a new one about outlining that I was just reading literally 5 minutes before I opened stream. And got some ideas. We're gonna be doing some research. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth and up and down and in and out. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff tonight. We're gonna hopefully be really productive. So in case you didn't read the description or didn't read the title, the goal for tonight's stream is to put together an outline. Maybe not a chapter by chapter outline, maybe a general outline of what I want the story to do, and then hopefully to be able to break chapters out of that. Which reminds me, let me take a look at something real quick. So I have this general outline that I put together. I guess we'll edit things together from that, because I'm not keeping all of it. We've made so many changes and made so many updates to the plan that some things have stayed the same, some things didn't. Actually, I'm gonna slide over to a new text document. Let me see something real quick. Because it's about that time anyway. That is, okay, so word count. We're gonna pop the word count down. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. I managed to change it over so we're on the blank document, because that's what we're going to be working from. That's what we're going to be working from today. So before we get started with this, we are going to have to do some online research, and so I'm going to be taking you all along on that adventure. One of the things that the video I shared on Discord suggested was just looking up a story structure and then assigning my ideas or themes or plans to the different phases of a story structure. So all right, here's Twitter. All right, so I really hate that, like, well, not hate. I am slightly frustrated by the fact that I go live around the same time as Tantan MooTuber, one of my a fellow streamer whose content I really enjoy. Okay, so let's take a look at images. Let's see what we find here. This is all outlines of the actual story of the game Cyberpunk. Alright, none of that's what I'm looking for. So we're gonna just put sci-fi. Here we go. Give me a chart. We could do the hero's journey. You're probably right. But you'd be surprised what you can find on Google. It is quite a powerful... It is quite a powerful tool. These are surprising. Examples of story structures seemed more like something that'd be in long-winded pair. Yeah, you'd be surprised. What have we got here? A character, a setting, inciting incident with a goal because motivation recognized by audience. Struggles, conflicts, problems, risk, danger. Black moment, is it all lost? Crisis, climax, agency or rescue, resolution, assuage, curiosity, close, open ends, return home, changed. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is the basic structure. Okay. Interesting. I like this here. This gives me a lot of good ideas. What's this? This is the world of your story before it changes. Inciting something compels the hero to action. First half of the story, the forces of change begin their work mostly unrecognized. The tables turn in a big way in the middle of the story midpoint. In the second half of the story, the antagonist pushes back against change. Opposing forces duel and there's a clear winner and loser. I'm liking that. What's this? Call to adventure. I'm liking some of these things. This is, oh, there's a wiki how on how to write science fiction. That's funny. That's so funny. Long-winded story structures. You could also spend a couple days reading a light novel. That could be interesting. Okay, I like this. Alright, so it starts at the top and goes to the left, which is opposite from how other ones go, but okay. Ordinary world, call to adventure, refusal of the call, meeting the mentor, crossing the threshold, tests, allies, enemies, approach, the ordeal, reward, road back, resurrection, return with elixir. So, all right, let's use this as the basic outline. So we've got ordinary world, call to adventure, refusal of the call, Meeting the mentor. Crossing the threshold. Leaves ordinary world. Tests allies' enemies. Approach. Ordeal. Reward. Road back. So let me do this. Interesting. Act 2A. Okay. So this design has Act 2 split into two pieces. Interesting. Okay. The ordeal. Reward, road back. Now, some of this is not going to be applicable. The road back is return. Begin Act 3. Ooh, I like the names that they give this. So I'm going to put that in here too. Then resurrection and return with elixir. Okay. So separation, descent, initiation. Okay. Initiation and return. Okay. Okay, so this is the hero's journey, broken down into some very simplistic pieces. Starts with the hero being separated from the world, descending into the new world. Now we could go a few different ways with this. So I could definitely go a few different ways, but see, the thing is also, my secondary character, the air pirate, Grief Stormblood, is also going to go through a similar journey. Except Grief Stormblood is starting on the back end of the journey, I think. Or I might have them go through mirror images. So let's... So we have the Hazel plot outline. Because we're essentially weaving these two stories together. So we're weaving these two together. There, okay. And we're going to intersperse some of these. I'm liking the idea of when we finish one section with another character, we're going to move towards that section with the other character, and by approaching them differently through one or more chapters, we can be able to craft a story together as I almost said as the player, as the reader experiences all of this. So ordinary world. I think the first chapter does a really good job of setting up the ordinary world. Um, and sets up the inciting incident. Um, and my latest chapter I'm working on, the pirate, does a really good job of setting up the ordinary world for the pirate. Um, so, but not all of these are going to be applicable. Locally. I wouldn't say that Hazel's received the call to adventure yet. Kind of, maybe. Um, we kind of jump straight into that. Um, uh, let's just look at it. The world. So next thing is going to be him getting offered a position of leadership. That's going to be the call to adventure. Then we have refusal of the call. So, in the current draft, They want him to negotiate. So that's what's happening right now. Not delegate, not officiate. What's it called? Mediate. So, the call to adventure is going to be the process of him mediating these different groups. And at first he thinks he's just a mediator. But he doesn't realize that because of his role as a mediator, everyone comes to trust him and trust in him, and that causes people to expect to see him in some kind of leadership position. So that's not just having it be due to some nebulous leadership ability. And that way we're attributing it to he's in this mediating position. I think I like that better. So that's his call to adventure. People naturally look to him to lead because he was the judge and mediator of all their separate things. Because it's really easy for someone who ends up in a mediating position to slide into a leadership position. Like if you think about it, that's a lot of what happened with whatchamacallit in Star Trek Enterprise in the later seasons, where humanity was acting as the mediator between these different species and races and getting them all to negotiate together and to form peace treaties. And because of that, it was just humanity was able to just slide into this leadership position in the Federation because of their ability to just mediate and orchestrate these treaties and these peace talks. The whatchamacallit was a great candy bar. What flavor was it? What flavor was it, Nekomaji? chocolate and nougat. Okay. Well, I didn't know if they had like almonds or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You bring up a valid point. All right, so that's the refusal of the call. And crossing the threshold is where he accepts the call. Let me... Oh gosh. Oh, there's a whole PDF explaining this. This is interesting. Explaining the hero's journey. Yeah, I hadn't really planned a mentor. And I'm not sure if this is how this is going to work. Um, hmm. Let me download this PDF because this is really... I found a thing that explains all the different steps of the hero's journey in the WikiHow. All right. Anyway, back to what we're doing. So, what if the mentor is Grief Stormblood? Let me take a look. What's this say for meeting the mentor? Mentor may be a physical person or an object such as a map, a logbook, or hieroglyphics. In Western and detective stories, the hero may hold an inner mentor, a strong code of honor or justice that guides him through the journey. Just don't rush, you may burn out. I mean, I'm not trying to rush. I'm just trying to take things one step at a time, break things into small chunks. Some people try to write 1,000 words a day. I'm just over here like, yo, 200. So I'm thinking the mentor, having uh instead of having the mentor be a literal mentor, I'm thinking of having Hazel be gifted by you or someone else. Either a copy or the original of a personal journey that belonged to the revolutionary, who people will find out in the future is the secondary protagonist, the Grief Stormblood. And that's what motivates reading this and reading how learning about how nervous and how unqualified the revolutionary felt can be a motivating factor to inspire Hazel to actually cross the threshold. Oh, really? Yeah, doesn't One Piece have like legends and stories of like previous great pirates that like Luffy and the others learn about and like try to emulate? Mm-hmm. Gold Roger? Okay. There's a character in the current arc who has a mentor, someone they want to be. They came from an ancient logbook. Kind of. The legend I can think of the Gold Roger. So like Luffy's mentor, like motivating factor, person who gives them confidence is a childhood promise in the Straw Hat. There's a character in the current arc who has a mentor, someone they want to be that came from an ancient logbook. Okay. Interesting. More like a father figure. Okay. Crossing the threshold signifies that the hero is finally committed to the journey. He's prepared to cross the gateway that separates the ordinary world from the special world. The crossing may require more than accepting one's fears. A map or a swift kick in the rear from a mentor. The hero must confront an event that forces him to commit to entering the special world from which there is no turning back. The event will reestablish the central dynamic question that propels the story forward. The event will directly affect the hero, raising the stakes and forcing some action. Outside forces may push the hero ahead, such as an abduction of someone close to the hero. A chase may push the hero to the brink, presenting no choice but to commit. The hero's place in the ordinary world may be usurped by a penguin. Okay. Or the hero may cross the threshold with the guns blazing and whip cracking. Internal forces may also push the hero to accept the special world. Comrade finally decides to see a therapist. Ordinary people. Belle sacrificed herself in exchange for father's freedom. Alvi and Anne agree to go on their first date. Okay. Interesting. So... then what is going to be the crossing of the threshold? What is going to be that moment where the hero reaches a point of no return, where Hazel cannot turn back and has to gone from under Alexander's sort of mentor is the idea of being a hunter. Was so great his father abandoned all things for it, so his hero's journey is to discover it all. Okay. As I said, it's a great trope. Countless reasons to start one. Countless things that could cause a crossing threshold moment. Yeah. So, my thought, right, is the crossing threshold moment is that Hazel takes his ship from its docked airshippers and uses it to fly a mission for the rebellion. Technically, on paper, it's his ship, right? So if he goes from air shippers to working for another company or starts doing independent loads himself, carrying loads and making deliveries for himself, as long as he has a place to park it, it's still his ship. But the expectation is that he's always going to be using it for hauling cargo and delivering loads. And this is him crossing the threshold and taking it, arming it, and using it as a combat vessel. At which point, after it gets modified to be a combat vessel, it is no longer a cargo vessel. And there is no going back to his day job at air shippers. That sounds fun. Thank you, Nekomaji. And I'm thinking he changes the name of the vessel. Well, he's a short-range delivery ship. Well, all of his deliveries are done in a day. So he does his deliveries and comes back to the same dock at the end of the day every workday. So he doesn't go very far. His ship is propelled by propellers and wind power. So it's not going very fast. It's essentially a less efficient blimp. So, Silva, I'm curious. Why do you suggest him having an innocuous and an unassuming and innocent reason to arm up his ship? I guess. But I want this to be, since this is this hero's journey, I want him to be like a wanted, like, how do I put this? Yeah, he is very much bottom of the totem pole. The one thing he has is that he owns his own ship. Right. So the idea is his ship has an oversized cargo hold, and I'm thinking the modification would be turning his cargo deck into a cannon deck, mounting cannons on the deck, and also mounting one or two guns on the above deck as well. Right, and well, so I guess I wanted this to be this transition from his delivery man life to being a rebel leader, in which that becomes his profession, I guess was what I was going for. Where like he's living, where he get to the point where he's no longer living in his old house, he's living in a rebel base. He's being modified with his ship is being modified and outfitted with weapons and equipment acquired by the rebel supply chain. No, those limits are very welcome. So part of the call to adventure is, Hazel is mediating all of these separate rebel groups, negotiating to combine into one unified rebellion, which is going to cause a huge influx of resources, supplies, equipment, and different financial backers that were backing the separate rebellions. Um, and Hazel as being accepted as a leader, maybe not the leader yet, but a leader, would be outfitted with, would have resources at his disposal for retrofitting his ship for combat. But after you get all those supplies in there, after you cut out the gun ports, you mount all those cannons, you get all the supplies, you get the living quarters for your crew in there. And the other supplies for the crew you've just taken on, all of a sudden there's no more cargo space. I also like this idea that we kind of do a name drop where the ship stops being called the Griffin's Wing and instead becomes the Halcyon Avenging, to represent this idea that Hazel has been not infected but inspired by this idea of avenging those lost days that the government took from them, which is kind of this contradiction, because Hazel's going to be inspired to avenge the lost days and the lies of Rosa Crucius, while still being inspired by the revolutionary, who was a tool used by Rosa Crucius in order to achieve power. Okay. So that's the crossing of the threshold, running the first mission, getting the ship modified, and running the first mission. So Silva, what you were expressing was that by having him have a reason to be armed, it allows him to maintain his day job while still acting as a member of the rebellion. So he still gets to engage with the normal world. So then that creates that dichotomy between I think dichotomy is the right word. That contrast between his daily life operating as a delivery driver and his nightlife where he uses his ship to run attacks on government bases and to perform rebel activities. I guess so my thought on it is, after his ship gets seen performing a rebel attack, right? It is going to be really easy for someone to pick out his ship unless he's drastically transforming his ship, like unless he's like painting over his ship's entire coat of paint and changing out his wings and sail layout after each mission. In my head, it would be just trivially easy for the government to locate his ship. I think I like the idea more, but like, your idea has merit. I want to acknowledge that your idea has a lot of merit, Silva, that by him being able to move incognito, it does give me a lot more storytelling opportunities where he can interact more with the normal world, listen to conversations, where he can act more as espionage. I'm just tackling how I feel about it. But I want him going on his first ship on his first mission to actually have weight and to be like a conscious decision where he's not just oh, there's another thing on this. Ooh. Where he's not just mediating things anymore. He's not just talking in back rooms. He's not just discussing rebellion, but he's actually doing it. I want this to be some kind of point of no return. Does that make sense? Like, I want it to have this big narrative weight. Well, he's going to get one of those. He's going to get an upgrade to his ship that's going to let him go toe-to-toe with Grief's Stormblood ship. Because even with guns, his little dinghy isn't going to be able to do much of anything against Grief's Stormblood ship. Though, do you see where I'm coming from? Where I wanted this, I was thinking about having him, like, very much delve into this new world, where he was going, where he was just letting go of his old life as an airshipper, and then delving into this rebellion where that became his new life. Do you see where I was coming from with that? Well, so uh well, at that point, it's not crossing the threshold. If his heart's only half in it, then that's not crossing the threshold. That's called to adventure. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, that's not what fits in this part of the story. If his heart's only half in it. But alternatively, like, I could make the crossing the threshold longer. I could have it in 2 stages, where it could be the first stage where he's trying to half and half do it, and then he has to finally commit. Because his call isn't to be just a member of the rebellion. He's being called to take on a leadership position and to fully commit to the rebellion. It's him because during the call to adventure portion of the story, he is mediating the negotiations between all of the separate rebel factions as they form into one cohesive force. And he is leveraging his own leadership abilities, his own judgment, in order to make sure that these separate, very different groups with very different goals and ideals form together into one cohesive unit that is able to work towards the same goal together. And during that time, he is all of the separate groups individually come to respect him and see him the rebel groups come to see him in this light of being a leader, being someone who leads from the front and being their commander, and his own natural intelligence and tactical mind is what draws people towards wanting to listen to him, and his desire to seek the best outcome for everybody, and to seek it in a very unselfish way, has other people believing that he is a good fit to lead this patchwork together group. And then after the meeting of the mentor, when he gets the revolutionary's journal, he starts to be more confident and take more of a leadership role in the planning and in the orchestration. And as he's gaining more confidence, learning new leadership skills, and taking command more in planning and orchestrating events, but he hasn't actually gone on a mission yet, right? People begin to believe in him more, and he begins to bear more and more of the burden of responsibility. He's not just the idea is he's not just a grunt in this rebellion. He's not just a low level. He's not just the getaway driver. He is a commander leading the charge from the front of the battle. He becomes like this leadership figure that other people rally behind. I think Nabiru fell asleep, maybe. Ooh, this can actually slide into meeting the mentor. Actually, hold up. Hold up. I think I have something, Silva. I think I have something. So, meeting the mentor can detail more. That section can really expand on how Hazel was given this authority. It can, and in that portion of the story, right, that's where Hazel is just the getaway driver. Oh no, that's where Hazel's just planning, hasn't actually gone on a mission yet. And is steadily taking more of a leadership position in the planning and logistics. Okay, Silva. Okay, Silva. Also, the thing is, he's not an espionage agent. He's not like a spy. And welcome back, Nekomaji. Silva was just worried if you fell asleep. So I've decided to expand more of the meeting the mentor section, where it's not just Hazel getting the book and then that's it. I want to have some chapters in there that expands on this idea that Hazel is taking this leadership role in planning these missions. Oh geez, Nekomaji, that sounds super frustrating. So Hazel is taking this leadership position in planning these missions and is still living this double life where he's acting as a leader for the rebellion, planning these missions, coordinating, acting on comms, doing all of these secret things from behind the scenes, but he also is still going to his day job. He hasn't committed to actually going on a mission yet. Which, having that be a thing until someone confronts him about how he's planning missions he'll never go on and that he isn't fit to lead if he won't commit. See, that's the trick of it, Silva. Because the revolutionary disappeared, right? The revolutionary was the one that was a tool used by Rosa Crucius in order to overthrow the previous government and install the current government, right? And to reinstitute money and do all the stuff that Rosa Crucius did. Because the revolutionary was discarded, no one knows what happened to the revolutionary. No one even knows the gender of the revolutionary at this point, because so much of this stuff has been redacted, covered up. So many of the people that knew the revolutionary were sworn to secrecy or killed. And what is revealed later on as the story goes on is that Grief Stormblood, the pirate, the secondary... Oh great, what you got here, Silva? I'm presuming it's some kind of a shark horn. Ha ha ha, Silva. What gets revealed as the story goes on is that the pirate, Grief Stormblood, in her younger years was the revolutionary. He was the revolutionary, and that's why she's so jaded. That's why she's lost so much hope in humanity. Because she was used and manipulated, and that's why like she sees so much of herself in Hazel. Approach the... Oh, there's another one on here. What's that about not committing, Nekomaji? approach the innermost cave is between test allies and enemies and the ordeal. Okay. Super cringe time. KKKKK. Random character. You won't commit to anything. Overpowered main character proceeds to commit on life on countless areas. Okay, Nekomaji. Well, so the idea is that the protagonist won't commit anything of their own. They're willing to commit other people's resources. They're willing to risk other people's ships. They're willing to risk other people's lives. But then Hazel has to make the decision that he's going to get his own ship, he's going to retrofit his own ship, and he's going to use his own ship for a mission. That's crossing the threshold for him. All right. Test allies, enemies. Having crossed the threshold, the hero faces tests, encounters allies, confronts enemies, and learns the rules of the special world. The stage is important for hero and audience alike, whether entering an imaginary world of a future society or the emotional realm of romantic love. The test stage is our first look at the special world, at how its conditions and inhabitants contrast with the hero's ordinary world. The hero needs to find out who can be trusted. Allies are earned, a sidekick may join up, or an entire hero team forged. Enemies and villains are countered. A rival to the hero's goal may reveal himself. The hero must prepare for the greater ordeals yet to come and needs this stage to test his skills and powers, or perhaps seek further training from the mentor. This initiation into the special world also tests the hero's commitment to the journey and questions whether he can succeed. Okay. So this is kind of the bulk of the story, right? Overpowered main character I see not commit to anything except for slaughter or simping. Okay, Nekomashi. You want nachos? Yeah, Silva's kind of cringe. What do you think the name is? What do you think the name is, Nekomaji? Aizen. You think this needs a Char clone, Silva? Yeah, that's true, Nekomaji. Okay, Silva. No need for all caps now. So in this time, he meets Hazel and Fern. Their interaction is explored more as best friends and allies. And then Hazel comes up against Grief, Stormblood. So then this deals with all of that. Okay. Yeah, Code Geass is like, what if the rival was the main character and the main character was the rival? Because isn't like Lelouch's rival that brown-haired dude in Code Geass like your stereotypical mecha protagonist? A nobody who rose up the ranks as a knight? Lelouch is definitely a conqueror. Approach the innermost cave. The hero must make preparations needed to approach the innermost cave that leads to the journey's heart or central ordeal. Maps may be reviewed, attacks planned, a reconnaissance launched, and possibly the enemy's forces whittled down before the hero can face his greatest fear or the supreme danger lurking in this special world. The confident hero may bypass these preparations to make a bold approach to the innermost cave. The hero has survived his descent into the special world. He has earned his place and may need to take a break for a cigarette, a joke, or a romance before facing the ordeal. A hero's team may have hit setbacks during the tests and the approach is necessary to reorganize the depleted ranks, remember the dead and wounded, and rekindle morale with a hero or mentor's rally cry. The approach may signal a ticking clock or heightening of the stakes. In romantic comedy, the approach may force the lovers to question commitment. One partner may express the need for marriage. All according to Keikaku. Yes, all according to Cake. So approach the innermost cave is kind of the preparation stage. Yes, Silva, all those translator notes. What's the best translator note, Nekomaji? There was one that went translated out. Moo means moo when a cow mooed. Okay, Nekomaji. Okay. Okay. So this this story has like a kind of a different flow to it than the traditional hero plot because normally uh in let's read the description of the ordeal and I'll tell you why. uh I'll tell you one of the reasons why this story is going to be very different. Yeah, someone spent the time to do it even though it was pointless. The hero engages in the ordeal, the central life or death crisis during which he faces his greatest fear, confronts this most difficult challenge, and experiences death. His journey teeters on the brink of failure. Indy and Marion are sealed in the Well of Souls. Annie and Alvi have broken up, and the audience watches in suspense whether the hero will survive. The ordeal is central, essential, and magical stage of any journey. Although through death can the hero be reborn, experiencing a resurrection that grants greater power or insight to see the journey to the end. The hero may directly taste death or witness death of an ally or mentor, or even worse, directly cause that death. The ordeal may pit the hero against the shadow or villain, and the hero's failure heightens the stakes and questions the journey's success. The hero may have the power to defeat a villain in the ordeal, only to have to face a greater force in the journey's second half. In romantic comedies, death can mean a breakup of the relationship. In romance, a crisis of the heart can be a love scene. The physical act of love is a type of death or surrender. The crisis of the heart can also be a moment when a shape-shifting lover suddenly reveals a dark side and attempts to destroy the hero. Okay. So, the rest of this after the ordeal, so the problem is this is all assuming that the character succeeds. Yeah, crisis of the heart, not a great trope. All of this after this is assuming that the hero survives or somehow comes out the other side of the ordeal. But in this story, right? The hero loses. Like, there is no reward, there is no return back to the ordinary world, there is no resurrection, there is no return with the elixir. The hero just loses. So I tend to try and block it from my mind whenever it happens in a manga anime, which happens a lot. It reminds me of like how there's so much fan service in anime, but because I don't watch anime for the fan service, I don't think about it until I'm showing the anime to someone else, and then all of a sudden I can't ignore that fan service because they're reacting to it and I'm watching it with them, and like I actually have to watch the thing that I normally just gloss over and ignore. Okay, Silva. Okay, hold on. Listen, I gotta climb on this soapbox real quick. In Kill la Kill, the fan service is literally and figuratively part of the plot. It is part of the force that drives the story forward. They actually do the impossible and circle back around from air quotes plot back into actual plot. Which is also kind of bizarre. Not gonna lie, that's kind of bizarre. Like that her father designed the costume like that, designed the camoes like that. That's it's kind of bizarre. Something like that, Silva. Something like that. Yeah, the unexpected LED lights threw me for a loop. Okay. In the end, he loses. I loved it because you finally anime where the clothes grant powers and, as you said, meant something instead of just transform, and the costume is never explained why it looks that way. Yeah. Yes. Though, you know what was funny? I rewatched some of Cardcaptor Sakura the other day. And it never occurred. I'd forgotten that her costumes were because her friend was obsessed with cosplay. So her friend was like, "You can't just go out there wearing regular old clothes. If you're a superhero, you've got to have a costume." And her friend just dressed her up. Claim the dragon or with the crisis of the heart, and now earns the reward he sought. Yeah, she did tape it all. Yeah, it was very much billed as an action anime, and it definitely was not. Yeah, I gotta get those views. Oh no. Oh no, Silva. So in this, there is no Act 3. There is no road back. There is no resurrection. There is no return with the elixir. For Hazel. Wow, we've gone long. Okay. Now that I have an idea of what's in each thing, I'm going to run this outline. First, let me save what I have. Let me save what I have so far. That's Chloe. Oh, that's funny. Chloe. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, why? Why is the last 10 of your shift going to be forever, Silva? So now I'm doing Grief Stormblood stuff. Ordinary world, Grief is a pirate who takes what she wants and lives on a floating city where she drinks away her sorrows between raids of large shipments of Miraculum and other supplies. Call to adventure. Rosia Crucius approaches Grief and tells her that she needs to work for them to stop the rebels and that if she doesn't, they will reveal her secret to the world that she is the revolutionary. As soon as it's 11, I'm going to the gas station and getting nachos, even though I shouldn't. Why? Because it's Monday. Tomorrow's my day off. Therefore, it's going to take much longer. Okay. You and your nachos. Not the kind of nacho. I get Tostitos, Cantina chips, 4 cheese blend, black olives, green onion, jalapenos, and if I feel like it, I throw it in taco meat, bake in the oven for 350 for 10. Okay. Yeah, for the quick. I see what you mean, Silva. Kind of. What kind of thoughts, Nekomaji? Looking over my list, I have an unexpected large amount of watched animes where characters have tragic, horrific deaths, but normal lives in a non-horror anime. Okay. That's a thought, Nekomaji. Okay, Silva. Zombieland Saga, 6 of 7 mains all die horrifically when human, and it's barely touched on in this show. Isn't that the one where they like all become idols or something? Got it. Okay. I mean, if you consider a time jump another world, it's kind of an isekai. You went from being a normal girl to being a zombie idol. That's kind of like changing worlds, isn't it? Last minute for you, Silva. Last minute. survive this final minute, Silva? Hmm. Slime, while it's a great show, we can't forget how it started. He got stabbed, died of four. That's funny, Nekomaji. Yes. Yes, Silva. Yeah, I got ran over after buying new gunpla. Lol. Uh, but a noble, I really screwed up death. He barely knew how to operate his mech. Was all egotistical, you know, he probably shouldn't have been there. Oh, how did Kazuma die in Konosuba? I forgot that Konosuba was an isekai. Wait, so he didn't get run over, but he still died of shock. Okay. Oof. Okay. Oh, poor, I almost called him poor Konosuba. Poor Kazuma. Well, of course Aqua did. Yeah, that is funny, Nekomashi. Okay. Or Lux into fighting ghosts. That's funny. I think I have the outline done. I have Hazel's plot lined up pretty well. I have Grief's plot lined up pretty well. Thing is, Grief is the secondary character, so not as much time is going to be spent on Grief's character arc as she is preparing this organism and all that stuff. So looking at this, I just did the chapter I just did was Grief's ordinary world. So her call to adventure needs to be getting approached. No, I need to have a couple more missions of her in her ordinary world. I probably have a chapter on her floating city. Yes, Silva, that darkness. Of course, Silva, of course. Well, we got the outline done. I wanted to do some writing tonight. That's not entirely true, Nakomaji. That's not entirely true. As someone who plays tanks often, I can tell you, not all tanks like pain. Some tanks like being able to withstand pain, but do not actually like taking damage. Mhm. Albeit, Silva, you might want to have a spare character ready considering we're walking into a boss fight this week. You like being a Chunin sorcerer, Nekomaji? I'll probably do my writing after stream. I'm gonna be doing some more writing, but I don't want to drag this out because I know we've already had a really long stream as is. We're coming up on we're over 2.5 hours in. What do you think? How long you all are? Yeah, that's one of the rough things about bards. It's hit or miss. You either do really well or really bad. So, what about you two? How late can you two stay up? I know Silva was talking about going to get some nachos. I'm surprised Silva hasn't dipped out to go get those nachos yet. Ah, okay. Well, okay, Silva. I'm probably going. So, I know I want to eat some food before I write. I have ideas about what I want to write next. This has given me a lot of ideas about what I want to write next. Your bed is your computer chair. That is true. So, I think I'm going to end stream here. That's a good idea, Silva. I'm probably going to end stream here. And then go get some food. Then after I eat some food, come back downstairs to my computer area and do my writing for the day. Have a good night, Silva. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here. But I don't want to have you just sitting here in intermission. Food wars will definitely make me hungry. Food wars will definitely make me hungry. Well, thank you for coming along on this adventure with me. It was nice working on this outline. We've outlined most of this story. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that's left open, like a lot of that stuff about the ordeals and the two going back and forth against each other, and knowing when to switch between protagonists is going to be a challenge. But it's just a rough outline for now. It's just a rough outline for now, and we'll see more about what we do with it in the future. No, I think I'm going to take what I've gotten so far and I'm going to keep moving forward. Like, we're already at, like, what was it, almost 8,000 words. I don't want to start over. I want to keep writing. I want to keep moving forward and take into account what I've outlined so far and use that to guide how we go forward. Because nothing I've really written so far avoids like nullifies the outline. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't want to start over and then feel pressured like I had to crank out that 8,000 words again to get back to where I was. I'm trying to take things very smoothly, like, for instance, yeah, exactly. I know it's going to be really heavy whenever I actually do my second draft. But for now, I'm just doing my first draft. I'm just taking it one step at a time. And I'm just trying to go. Like yesterday, for instance, I had no energy. I had no creative juices flowing. And I cranked out something that I'm probably not even going to keep. But I did my 200 words and I moved on because it's easier to edit 200 words than a blank page. And that's one thing that I'm just kind of holding on to. The fact that it's easier to edit 200 words than it is to edit a blank page. What about you, Nekomaju? What are you gonna get up to tonight? Yes, yawn. Yes, yawning is contagious through text. You gave me my yawn. That would be a really weird superpower if you could text someone yawn and make them yawn. We're gonna read manga? Oh, that sounds cool. Any specific manga you're reading through right now? I have to keep reminding myself every day that, like, I'm not spending money on eating out because I want to be able to buy games. I want to be able to do things that I enjoy. But sometimes I enjoy eating out. Also, I want to make sure I have money for emergencies. Anyway, it's been a great night. We got a lot done. Are you currently rereading a few? Oh, that sounds fun, Nekomaji. It's nice to retread old classics and old favorites. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful night. Eminence in Shadow, waiting for it to get its anime out. Oh, that sounds exciting. I hope you have a wonderful night then. I want each and every one of you watching this to know that I love each and every one of you, and I believe in each and every one of you. You are precious, you are important, and you are valuable. I believe that each and every one of you makes this world better just by being in it, and I am grateful that you decided to show up for my stream or watch my VOD or whatever you did. It means the world to me. I want you all to know that I think you're amazing, and I think you're all great people. And also, always remember the motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always, always, always stop to enjoy the memes. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, there's links to my Discord as well as my Twitter in the description below. If you ever feel motivated to give to improve my life or improve the stream, there are links where you can do that in the description below as well. Imagine a Chunin Byu whose Chunin delusions somehow become real. He's overpowered too, lol. Oh, that sounds like a fun power fantasy. But yeah. Have yourself a wonderful night and enjoy reading your Chunin Byu fantasies.